as a counterpose to all this work, let's find a supported bridge pose with a blanket and 2 bricks. Now I have my blanket folded like so, and so that the tighty edge is facing away from me. And I have 2 bricks. If you're prop efficient, you can use 1 brick or do it without bricks and without blankets. All right, I'm going to let myself lie down so that the shoulders are up against the edge of the blanket and my neck is supported, and I'm going to place the first brick under the lower 2/3 of the sacrum. Now this might already feel heavenly enough. Okay, and you might just rest here, letting this relax. Okay. If and when it feels appropriate to let the hips lift a little bit higher, maybe come up onto the balls of the feet, draw the tailbone under, and let that second brick find its spot. Now be diligent in making sure that the bricks are nicely stacked. Okay, building your foundation. I'm going to make a little effort of rolling my shoulders under, softening through the jaw and the back of the neck. Now it might be nice, in fact it does feel nice, to just rest here. I like to kind of find my feet a little bit and start to relax. If you're feeling like you need a little bit more of a back bend after that practice, okay, if that's what would feel good, then you could make the decision to turn this top brick up a layer. Again, make sure that it's safe and supported and that it's under those lower 2/3 of the sacrum, and that can feel delightful. I love this feeling because it starts to feel like like right inside my pelvic ears start to kind of hollow out. I'm not really sure why that feels so good. Okay, if you're of the bendy variety and you need even more, you might turn this top brick up. Now that's a lot with these Manduka bricks because that's quite high. And again, it's on the lower 2/3 of my sacrum. I've rolled my shoulders under. I've got my feet happening. I'm keeping my knees bent. If you're feeling like you want more, you can let your legs go straight. I'm going to keep them bent a little bit here. And this feels really nice. I'm spreading my toes wide. I'm geeking out a little bit through the balls of my big toes. Like I've got a little bit of action of internal rotation, tailbone towards the heels, but mostly I'm letting it rest. But it feels so good through here. Making sure I still have a cervical spine. I still have room in my throat. This feels awesome. Isn't it funny? It's so amazing how the yoga is what reminds us of the yoga. You know, we can forget so easily. Amazing. Okay, so you can stay here for a really long time. It feels really good. I kind of feel like going to a supported Viparita Karni, but I feel like doing it with that brick lower. Like I feel like doing it with the bricks like in a very relaxed setting. This is where I'm at today, and I like to do it one knee at a time. Let that leg lift. And just a little tone up through the balls of the big toes, a little tone in the inner thighs. If I was up against a wall, I could relax my legs against the wall. This feels good. We didn't really ever invert today in this way. We never, we just kind of worked the shoulders. So in some ways, this is our first leg inversion, with the exception of when we lifted the leg in downward facing dog. I kind of like to let this feeling of it softening down through the hips, and then I like this feeling almost like a waterfall. So as the legs kind of pull down into the pelvis, and as that kind of then pulls down towards the heart, and that softens in the throat. Love that. And again, you could be here for a really nice long time. Particularly if those legs were on the wall, you'd really be able to chill. They say, capital T, that it takes, close to 10 minutes before you really get the benefit. I don't necessarily agree, but experiment for yourself. Because it's important that we let the they become we and I. And you feel like you're participating in that dialogue of understanding. That's what makes this the science of yoga. Okay, so be a good yogi scientist, do your own research, record your own data, and then share with us. That's what's so fun about the internet. We can share. Okay, I like to bring down one leg at a time. It's just more restful on the sacrum. You pause. Come up onto the balls of the feet. You release one of the bricks. Let it land. Release the hips. Pause. Okay. Then you release the other brick. But now instead of just bringing the hips back down, you're going to wiggle back. You're wiggling back until your shoulder blades kind of come off the blanket. Okay, bend the knees, soles of the feet together. Place those bricks under the thighs of the knees so it's supported. And let the elbows bend open and rest. So there's a feeling that the blanket's just kind of right at the base of the shoulder blades. These bricks aren't quite right. I want them a little wider. That's better. Elbows bending. Shoulders rolling back and down. Rest. Okay, nice. Now this might be heaven for you. It might feel really nice. You might feel that sense of gravity opening up through the thighs. And if the bricks are not helpful, like for me, they're very helpful. Because if my knees drop too far, I get strain in the low back. But you could ditch the bricks if you'd want. And this might be the spot for you. Okay, but if it's not heaven, if it doesn't feel relaxing, then you might take yourself towards Shavasana. You might let those knees lift. Lift up through the back, remove the blanket. You might place that blanket underneath your head. And then let your legs extend, tucking the shoulders under the palms, opening the feet resting. Big deliberate inhale. Exhale everything. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale. And now you've spent some effort and some time focusing on geeky details. Soften in between your brow and across your forehead and your jaw. And let the mind feel free. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your practice.